Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Minutes with Milo show. And action. Hmm. Oh well, wasn't really much action, but we're here. Got a lip itch. So, how's everybody been? Been good. Look, I don't know why these people keep asking me for my autograph. Come on, people. I'm trying to do a show here. Give me some privacy, would you? My goodness. So, how's everybody doing? Doing okay. Excuse me. I'm running a little behind tonight. Been a hectic Thursday, but as many of you do not know, this is my Friday. So this is why I like Thursday night shows. It's my weekend. Yep, but I work 4 10-hour days. And by the 9th hour and 59 minutes, buddy, I'm ready to go to the house. So, but Thursday's a good night. It's the night after Survivor. It's my weekend. So everything's A-OK. A-OK, Buckwheat. A-OK. We're going to talk about Wednesday night's Survivor episode. And I'm hoping that maybe somebody would like to call in. And that reminds me, I need to get up my, I haven't done this in a long time. A couple episodes maybe. No, I don't want to do that. So, my computer's talking to me. Anyway, I'm going to get my phone up. Then my Google number. And it comes through a browser. And I think it works better if I use Mozilla. No, not. Everybody wants to be your #1 browser. All right? Whether it's Microsoft or Mozilla or Google or whatever it might be. No, not now. See? No, dismiss that. I haven't had Firefox up in a while, so it is been kind of cantankerous. Anyway, let's just do something else. That's the way it works. That is the way it works. I thought I needed to do that with Mozilla, Firefox, or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm realizing that no. I don't need to do it with that. I need to do it with, Edge or whatever this is called. There it is. All right. Bring this over here, put it in a separate window. Let's turn off. What's that? Close that. We're going to turn off call waiting or whatever you want to say. We are now receiving calls. Do not disturb. That's what it called it. Do not disturb. I had it turned on. Do not disturb. So I've got that turned off so we can accept actual calls. So what I need to do here is turn that on. La, da, 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 da. There it is. So call the number. Talk to me about what you thought about Survivor. I don't know, man. Is it episode 5? Season 44, episode 5? I don't know. Whatever went on last Wednesday. That I watched, and I hope you watched, because if you didn't watch it, then what I'm talking about may not make sense. Okay? And even if you did watch it, what I'm talking about may not make sense. So, it started out as a normal day on the Castaway Island. And then, boom, it hits. Nothing really spectacular at first, but let's see. Let's start out. I've been trying to find my the picture I normally use for all the Survivor contestants, and it makes it right. It makes it nice because they are broken down into their tribes, and I can show the whole tribe, and it kind of helps me relate to you what went on. But tonight I went to find it, and I couldn't find it. Let's do that. Let's click on this button. We're going to see what I'm doing. Might as well. Let's just be, what do they say? Transparent. Let's just be totally transparent here. I don't know what I'm doing. So, if I don't know what I'm doing, then let's just bring you along for the ride. It's kind of a bumpy ride, but we will make it happen. So it means I need to shrink down, and I need to, let's transition that. No, no, and no. There we go. All right. So, hey, there's Jeff Probst. All right. Let me shrink myself a little bit more. I know I don't want to get too small, or you guys will miss me. So there's Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Let's go through. Now these are all stupid stories. Reality Survivor names. Where's the cast winners? Reality. This is the cast, the one that I've normally been using. No, oh my gosh. No, it is not. It is not the one that talks about all that stuff. Okay, so we do the Googles. I won't say Google. What is that I'm using here? Oh yeah, this is one of those protected. Nobody else is in the chat. So is anybody watching this right now? Let's see. Top chat, live chat, participants. It's just me. It's just me. So if you're watching live, thank you very much. Chime in, call me up. Let's talk on the phone. If you're watching it later, that's fine. That's great. Watch through the end. Hey, Cleo, there's my first person. My always tried and true Cleo. If you're watching later, like, subscribe to the channel, click the button, get notifications. I do this twice a week. I torture you, myself, everybody on the internet twice a week. 9 o'clock, Mondays and Thursdays. Right now, Thursdays has been a Survivor recap. Why? Because nobody's got the guts to call in and talk about anything else. That's why. If you think you're that person, hit me up. I'll actually put you on video if that's what you want to do. Cleo, right now I'm trying to find my tried and true cast of survivors. Let's see. The ones that always have, it breaks them down into the tribes. Oh, why? See, this is all individuals. My internet stinks. See, now that's not bad. I mean, you know, you get to see them up close and personal, but you don't get to see them in their tribes. And you know, they don't look like that. Not now. So, anyway. Let's go back. And I thought I had that one bookmarked, but apparently I don't. Oliver USA Today, Entertainment Weekly. How do they have them broken up? I want the ones where it breaks it up into tribes. No, see, each individual picture. That's crazy. That's too much work. Hey, there's some knees. Insider. Let's go to that. Let's go to this by tribe. Let's see if that gets it for us. I never had to do that before. Wikipedia. I'm looking for ones that show me that I've been on there before. Oh, is this it? Is it going to use this one? No, I still think it's going to be broken down. No, my gosh. What's wrong with this picture? A spaghetti strap on this side? I don't know. Big old fat strap over there. What's that about? That's not what we want. Are you still asleep or awake, Cleo? There they are as a Happy Brady Bunch. Oh, no, that's not it. That is not it. That is not it. This is not it. I am not having any luck tonight. This is where I normally get it. But this is not where it is tonight. I don't understand why I can't find it here. Let's see if this, no, this is their Instagram junk. I saw this. View on Instagram. No, 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 no. All right, so we'll just have to wing it, I guess. Because what I normally do, is have them in a tribe and show you, pinpoint out which ones, which one was both. Oh, here we go. Let's bookmark this bad mamma jamma. Done. Okay. Finally got it going. All right. Now, where was I? Survivor. Wednesday night, they came on. Somebody got voted out. That's a recap. They did a twist that I hadn't seen before. They've sent people lately to an island, and they used to send them, two at a time, that kind of stuff. Now they're sending them three at a time, and they put little twists on it when they get there. But basically, after one of the challenges, the winner of the challenge, I think it was a reward challenge, got to pick members from all the tribes, one from their own, one from the opposing tribe, to go on a trip. And they went on a trip to just another island. It's not like very far. And before, they'd send two people, and they would make a decision or know what each other's decision was going to be before they separated. And this time, they took three contestants. They made them, I guess, walk a path. They're supposed to get to know each other. And then when they reached the end, they were each to pick a certain path and go on their merry way by themselves to another station. And when they got there, what they did was they opened up. There wasn't any choices. You just opened up the envelope, and it basically said, hey, you know what? You've won an immunity idol to protect you from the next vote. But there were some stipulations. It could only be used when there was everybody was in separate tribes. So after the merge, when everybody becomes one tribe, you couldn't use it anymore. The next little twist I liked. The next little twist was reach down into this bag and pick out a new buff, because you're no longer going to be on the tribe you just came from. And so they took 3 members from each, or 1 member from each tribe, that's 3 people, and swapped them all up. The question I had, and maybe it just didn't go into this much detail. So you go, and let's say you're a member of the Ratui tribe. I don't know what color they are. But when they went down their separate paths, and they went in and read the envelope, and they had to reach into the bag and pull out a new buff. So there's 3 tribes. They couldn't go back to their original tribe, so there can only be 2 color buffs. And when they were showing it on TV, it was just like, you're supposed to pick a path to go down. And then you went down it, and there was the station that you choose from. How did the producers know where they would go as they went down this path to limit the number of colors? So you couldn't go back to your tribe, right? So there was not 3, they couldn't fill every bag with 3 colors, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So they had to know which path each tribe member was going to go down, so they could take out that color of their past tribe and only leave the 2 choices for the new tribe. That was something. They made it sound like that you could pick any 3 and go down. So I could have went to 1, 2, or 3, and Clell could have went to 1, 2, or 3, and then maybe Robert could have went to 1, 2, and 3. But that means that before we got to the bottom, some person would have had to only put in certain colors. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing that. So they get down there, and they draw out of the bag. They get an immunity idol, and then they go to a brand new tribe. And the survivor crew brings over their personal items. So let's see if I can remember this correctly. Let's start at the top. Okay, out of the Ratui tribe, Jamie here, she went. And, look at the picture with my little mouse floating around. So she went. Out of the Tika tribe, Harry Potter went. What's his real name? Carson. Carson went. And then out of the Soka tribe, I'm not an expert. I don't remember these people's names right off. Josh went, right here. Josh. Josh was the guy that was supposed to be dead, and now he's a super brainiac surgeon, right? So, yeah, Robert says once they chose their path. You know what I mean? So they were all standing at the end, and there was 3 paths sticking out, like that. And they all just went, they were kind of standing like that anyway, so they just all took a natural path for them. I think that was staged. I think they were pretty much shown, unless from that point to wherever they were getting their card and they had to pick a new buff, there was somebody hunkered down and going, who's coming, and set up the bags individually. Either they told them which way to go, or it was pretty far that they went before they got to the bag so somebody could swap in all the things. And this takes me to a side note. If you were watching, it wasn't this one. It was season 43, where Jeff come on and said, hey, everybody's asked about the behind the scenes footage and how we do this and how we do that. and they actually showed footage of the crew making the footage of the show. And they showed you some behind the scenes stuff and then let you in on a couple of those little odds and end things. Boom, gone. I like that. Why did they get rid of that? He made it, and it was only like the first few episodes of that season, of last season, where they did that. Am I wrong? I'm thinking that's what they did. I think he promised a behind the scenes look of Survivor and then just like it was never said. I wonder what happened to that. They haven't done any of that this season. And that's the stuff I really would like to see. I would like to see how this is put together. Do they stage everything? Do they say, oh, you need to stand over here, stand over here? I mean, it doesn't look like it, right? But this is a TV show. And if you notice, very seldom do you actually see a cameraman or a drone or any of that stuff going on. But they follow each of these people. So if you go off to take a pee or to take a nap or to have some quiet time or to cry or to do anything, there's a cameraman and somebody goes with you. I mean, as I understand it, they're videotaping these people all the time. How can they not cross paths? How can, you know, is there a crossing guard goes, whoa, wait. You know, Claire's coming down or somebody's coming down right now. Don't go. Just wait right here for a minute. Okay, they're gone. Okay, now we can proceed. How do they make that happen? Anyway, got off on that. But anyway, Josh went. So they all three now have immunity idols, but they're all three on a brand new tribe. And they can't use them after the merge, so they have to use them soon. And it would almost make you to believe that they have to use them because you're the new person on the tribe. You just came in. So Clell says that he has some insider knowledge and that there is some staging for filming. I don't think they could ever go away. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but this is live. I don't edit this junk. I put it out there. If you see junk live, it's going to be live recorded. And I don't know. I think documentaries, in my mind, it is what we record. You know, we may cut it down for length or something like that, but we don't make in a documentary. Documentaries to me should be, we don't make you think it's something else when in reality it's A, and we try to make you think it's B. A documentary it's A all the way across the board, but we may shorten it up for, time constraints or because there's some boring crap that goes on while somebody's, chewing their toenails or something. That's the way I would think that a reality show would be shot. I think you ought to see cameraman recording cameraman, bumping into cameraman on the trail, stepping in holes, all that kind of stuff. Show us the raw footage, show us all that stuff, and, make it that way. So, all right, friends on the show, Robert says lines in the sand. Yeah, they may have like you stand on the purple rock, you stand on the green rock, somebody move over to there, and they do these interviews, the producer interviews. Okay, and Caroline, this girl here, all right, she's a character, but we brought this up last night. Let's say you're doing these personal interviews, and this is where they all, you see them all the time. There's just a one-on-one interview, and they're talking about what their plans are. They have to take this girl on the other side of the island to do her interviews because, man, she just seems like she is loud. It just seems like she has almost from half to full volume is all she has. And I was talking last night. I was like, man, they got to take her to the other side of the island to have these interviews because anybody that's even close is going to hear what she is saying. She's wide open. She is just wide open. So they have to, they have to say, hey, now it's time for us to go. And maybe they each go to separate places. And they do all their interviews at once. And that means, they've got 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 cameraman, something, that do these individual interviews. Maybe they tell them, everybody go down to the beach because, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be conducting interviews. I don't know. It would almost be worth applying to Survivor, going on there, putting up with a couple of days of junk and, torture, just to see how this was put together, how they make this work. All right. So, last night's show, Wednesday. So they ended up being on separate islands or separate tribes from where they originally started. And they each have immunity idols. Okay? So they did a challenge, and I like this challenge, a slingshot. Tourette syndrome, shouldn't make fun. What are you making fun of? I agree. Producers encourage rivalries and feuds. I mean, I can see that. It's a drama show. I don't know what Robert Tourette syndrome. I shouldn't make fun. I don't know what you made fun of. Let's see. Can I go back up through here? I can't. This is what ticks me off about this chat. I can't. I wasn't really paying attention. You might be talking about maybe she suffers from some type of a syndrome that makes her loud, makes her have these funny facial expressions. And maybe that's true. And maybe that's part of her appeal in the show is that she does make, who was I talking to today? I think it was Robert I had talked to today. If she's like a drug counselor, okay, and just from being that, I'm going to take a jump and say she doesn't do drugs. All right? Maybe in the past, I've often said this. If you wanted to go to a town, I'm going to use Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're wanting to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, would you want to get directions from someone that had actually been there and back? Or would you want to get directions from somebody that had never been there, but they had heard where it was, and they had heard how to get there, and they heard how to get back? So, if you take that answer and you apply it to some type of addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or sex or whatever it might be, would you want to get help from somebody that was a drug addict that had been there and came back from it? Or would you want to get it from somebody who learned about it in school and could tell you what it was supposed to be like and how you were supposed to get back from it? I mean, to me, the answer is simple. You want boots on the ground people to tell you this is what happens because I've experienced it, and this is how you get back from it because I've done it. So, with that said, if she's a drug counselor, and I'm assuming maybe she's done drugs in the past, that's not a big deal. But I swear, if I didn't know she was on Survivor and was drug-free for however many days she's been on there, from her actions, her facial expressions, the way she handles herself, and the way she interacts with some of these people, and the way she acts on the interviews, I would say she is strung out on something. That's just my personal observation, but she is across the board uh, amazing to watch. A handful, whatever you want to call it. She has some of the funniest facial expressions, and man, it's like these voices are banging around in the side of her head, and she is forever in an internal conflict with trying to weed out which one she should and which one she should not listen to when she's dealing with these situations. she has her own personality. But when we go to these interviews, it seems like they have to be far apart because she's pretty loud. Okay? So, back up from everybody having gone to the island and they're swapped around. Carolyn had gotten the hidden immunity idol, and I talked about this on one of my other shows. She had gotten that out of the bird cage. She'd gone back to camp, and then it had hit her in one of those moments. Crap, they're going to realize there's nothing in the cage. So she went back to the bird cage and put in the bag. And then when everybody came around again, they go, man, that really looks like somebody's messed with that bag. And they couldn't figure out who. All right? They couldn't figure out who. Even though they knew they'd all been together except for Carolyn. So, come to Wednesday. She finally had the bright idea that she had in the bag with the real immunity idol was a fake immunity idol that you could use for anything. The guy on the other tribe, the fireman, which one was he on? Yeah, Danny. He did it right very first time. Boom, 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 boom. He had it figured out. He did it. Put the fake idol back in there. Set it all up. Carolyn, she got to the same place, man. She got to the same place, but she went around the block a couple of times. So on Wednesday's night show, in order to use this fake immunity idol that apparently she had not put back in the bag, which was in the bird cage, she found some red roots around camp that nobody had ever seen. So she puts an X over the door or around the door of the bird cage. Well, that's something new. They immediately saw, what is that? Why is there a red X on that? And so they all stood around and looked at it going, what does that mean? So then she takes her fake immunity idol, wraps it up like she should have, puts it inside the parchment that says, hey, this is an immunity idol, which is not. She goes back to where the camp is and she puts it in the end of the log. And underneath it, she puts that X of those red sticks. Okay. To signify X marks the spot. In her words, X marks the spot. So she's basically trying to get someone to see the X's, put the two together, and start looking for an idol, because there's an X on the bird cage, an X on the ground, there's an idol. Finally, somebody does. And it is Sarah. It's Sarah here in the middle. And if you watch the show, you realize that Caroline is sitting on the log, and I think it's Yam Yam, or maybe Josh, or I'm sorry, Carson, that's sitting on the log. And then Sarah sees the X on the ground, so she makes her way around to the end of the log where the X is. Now Carolyn's sitting on the log, man. She's sitting on the log. And so Sarah goes around and starts digging underneath it where the X is. Well, she doesn't find anything. Well, she happens to glance up, and right there in the end of the log next to her head is the pouch wrapped up. And she says she picks it up with her underwear. Anyway, she has something in her hand. She lays it on the end of the log and stands up. And then, of course, as she stands up, she grabs the pouch, wraps it in whatever cloth she says is underwear, and walks off with it. Carolyn never notices it. She never notices it. Later on, she goes, somebody got it, but I don't know who. I don't know who. How could, you know where you put it. You're sitting there. You should be eagle eyes, eagle attention at least, on who is at the end of the log. Who goes by the end of the log? That should not leave your sight. And she doesn't know who has it. She doesn't know who has it. How is that possible? How could you set that up and not know who has it? But she doesn't. She says she doesn't. So her and MwM, Carolyn and MwM, get in this little argument, and it carries over. They lose the immunity. They lose the immunity challenge. So one of their tribe has to be voted out, and they get into a little tiff. They have a little clash, and it carries over into the tribal council. They have a little clash. And remember now, they've got Josh in there, who Josh got put on their tribe. And so he is in the place of Carson. So take this Carson dude out, put him on another tribe, and put in Josh. Right? So they have an easy vote. They don't know he has an idol. They think he may have an idol, but they're not sure. They have an easy vote. Just vote for him. He doesn't want to go, so he starts working the crowd. And who does Caroline? You would think, let's vote out MwM, the guy you've had arguments with, because he's after Carolyn. Why weren't those two after each other? You would think that would be the logical choice, right? And what happens? So they go through tribal council. This poor unsuspecting girl has a fake immunity idol, but she feels so secure that it's going to be one of these two, MwM or Carolyn or Josh, that she doesn't even attempt to play the fake one. She sits there and they voted her out. I don't understand. Carolyn could have gone to Josh, and I think she did, but she picked Sarah to vote out. Why? Why not? Let's go for MwM because he's always in my case. We're always having this conflict. But they didn't. Anyway, so, Sarah gets voted out. And it leaves Carolyn and MwM, which aren't the best they're an oil and water mix, right? They don't really jive. I don't understand her logic. Or he was after her. Or he was after Josh. Either one of those. But anyway, that's not the way it played out. So as in true Survivor fashion, there was another blind side, right? And I don't know why. There's a lot of things that go on, I guess, that you just don't see, that you can't really put logic to because you're not seeing the whole picture. And I have to tell myself this every time I watch the show. They're hot, they're hungry, they're thirsty, they're tired, they're itchy, their toes hurt, their head hurts, they don't brush their teeth, they're always scrubbing their teeth with sticks. It's perpetual stress. I bet they don't sleep worth a hoot. I know I probably wouldn't. It's hot during the day, it's warm at night by any standards, but If you've ever tried to sleep out under the stars with no covering, it's amazing. And psychologically, more, I think, psychologically more than physically, what it's like to try to sleep without any covers, without anything to cover you, whether it's palm fronds, woven into some type of mat, just to physically give you that sense of I'm covered, whether it actually does anything for you or not. Physically, mentally, I think just putting something over you would make you sleep a lot better, you know. And the bugs, the mice, the rats, the insects, if you're sleeping in the sand, you're sleeping up on bamboo, it is not, they are strung out tired. So, what I would do sitting at home on my couch, sipping a beverage, eating pretzels, whatever I'm doing, has nothing to do with what they're doing out there on Fiji. So, it's easy to, Thursday night quarterback these things, but for the life of me, I don't understand a lot of their thought processes. I really don't. So I was trying to think. He's no longer on their tribe. Did they get Carson? I can't remember. Or if they got Jamie. I really can't remember right now who got who. But I know, that Josh was here because he was making deals with everybody. And rightly so. I mean, he has a hidden immunity idol. He used it for himself, so now it's played. And that's how they ended up, part of the reasons how they ended up with her, there was some, votes for Josh, Yam Yam, and Sarah voted. I think they voted for Josh. And then, of course, they didn't count. And, she went home. And I don't know why Yam Yam didn't go home. I don't know. Yeah. Clell says warm is cold at night if you're trying to sleep. Yep. So anybody that's ever been to Florida or Myrtle Beach or something like that and spent some time and been out on the beach late at night and sit down, go to sleep. Yeah, if you wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, man, you're cold. It's cold. It's just like it's crazy how cold it can be without just like I said, just a simple long sleeve shirt or something on. And I think that's, if I ever went to Survivor, and I may have talked about this first couple of times we talked about Survivor, do your research, get some skills. Yes, everybody needs to be able to make fire with, the best way, if you don't have a flint, you got to be able to make it by friction, something. But I noticed some of these people practice, for lack of a better term, basket weaving. All right, so being able to take, long blade grass, palm fronds, vines, anything, and weave it into something useful would be a very good talent to have going on Survivor. Because you see them making mats and different things like that out of these palm fronds, and it to me it's just as important as having a raised shelter off the sand. If you can gather leaves and soft underbrush and things and just throw it up on some bamboo and make a semi soft pillow. But to put something between you and those, leaves and whatever, I won't say twigs. For some reason, twigs keep coming to mind, but you know, the brush between you and the brush will make you sleep so much better. And then have something to lay on top of you to give you that feeling psychologically that now I am, you know, almost like in a little cocoon, I think would be so, you know, so useful. So useful. There was one Survivor show that I can't remember which one. It was one that had a lot of controversy. A lot of controversy. Not necessarily on transgender. There was one of those, but there was one where a guy was accused a couple of times by female contestants of him being too friendly with them. And in that episode, in that season, he had built himself a bungalow. I think that's what I would do. I don't know why. I don't know why they always make these lean-to shelters facing the ocean to catch all that ocean breeze coming. Yeah, during the day, that's going to be great. You know, when it's hot, you know, you're out there, you're working, you come back from an immunity challenge and you're soaking wet and sweat. Yeah, you want that open, you know, lean-to catch the breeze coming in and off the ocean. But when it's at night, you're trying to sleep, man, you want, you know, closeness. And he had built this bungalow, which was kind of, as I call it, a depression in the sand that he had built like almost a dome type thing over it, almost like a teepee, maybe. And it was a one or two person deal. That's where I would probably go. And that's why they'd probably vote me off the first time. I would say, man, you cats want to sleep out there in the open like that? That's fine. More power to you. But I'm gonna make me a little teepee. I'm gonna dig me a hole in the sand. I'm gonna line that thing with all kinds of brush, and I'm gonna try to make myself a shelter that is far enough away from the beach that I don't get all that ocean breeze all night long. You know, I want some still air. I want some air that's not gonna, you know, make me chilled, you know, when it turns to be 75 and 80 degrees, if that's what it gets to at night. And I'd say, you know, hey, sorry, but I want to get some rest. And that would probably cost me. You know, it would probably cost me. But that's what I kind of thought I'd end up doing, was just going, hey, you know what? I'm going to dig me a little trench over here. I'm going to line it with stuff, and I'm going to cover it with, I'm going to weave on my own little mats. I'm going to make one big enough to sleep under, and I'm going to be like a little bug in a rug, you know. Wake me up when it's, you know, when it's breakfast, supper time, whatever. I'm going to sleep in my little foxhole and try to stay warm. But anyway, that's my rant, my understanding. Yeah, wind off the ocean gets chilly. Yeah. And sure, they've got a fire, you know, but they can't sleep around. I have seen people sleep around, actually, you know, curl up, you know, around the fire to try to keep warm. But if you've ever done that, if you've ever sat around the fire, you know your back gets cold. So sometime in the night, you've got to roll over to keep your back warm. Then what happens? Your belly gets cold. Then what happens? Well, you got to put more firewood on. And it's just a constant battle. Keep my front warm, keep my back warm, put some firewood on. Keep my front warm, keep my back warm, put some firewood on. You'd never get any rest that way either, you know. And what would tick me off more than anything is me trying to stay warm, and I'm stoking the fire and doing all that stuff, and some yahoo's laying, you know, just a few feet away, and it's like, hey, thanks for putting firewood on, man. We appreciate it. I'm sleeping right here. And nobody chip in to help. That's why I think I wouldn't last on Survivor, because I'd say, the heck with you guys. I'm going to go back here, dig my foxhole, fill it full of stuff. I'll make my own fire and cook my own fish. And, you know, you guys sit up here and chill out in the A-frame wind catcher. Yep. All right. 49 minutes. One of these days, I'm going to limit it to 30 minutes and cut you all off. All right. So, Monday, coming up 9 o'clock, going to have I don't know, we'll chat about something. Clell, did you try to call tonight? I put that thing up, and as true as I always do, I hadn't paid any attention to it. You normally say, "Hey, I'm trying to call," which is great. I don't think you tried to call in. I've got to find a better way to do that because I keep forgetting about it. If you tried to call in, let me know. Went off the ocean, make a lean-to. Yeah, but see, Robert, they make the lean-to the wrong way. If you've ever noticed, everyone I've seen, they're all sitting in the lean-to looking out at the ocean. Why? Why? That's fine during the day. Maybe you ought to have a sleeping shelter that's 20 yards off the beach and protected from the wind and the rain and all that, and then have a daytime, porch where you go and it sits right on the ocean with a lean-to to give you some shade, and you just watch the ocean during the day. But man, when you're trying to sleep, I want to be off the ocean. I want to be protected behind something that cuts the wind off of me. I don't know. I just don't, make two lean-tos, right? Lean one this way, lean one this way, make a lean-to together. Get inside there. Be warm, cozy. Sleep. Anyway. Monday will be a show. Thursday will be probably another show on Survivor. I don't know. If you like these, leave me a comment. If you don't like these, leave me a comment. If you like the channel, follow, subscribe, watch my videos. If you don't like the channel, follow, subscribe, and watch the videos. A certain amount of conflict in your life is good. It builds character. So if you don't like my show, it's good for your character. Watch it. It's good for your character. If you like my show, then things that are pleasant to you are also good for your soul. Watch my show. Take care of your soul. So, share it with your friends. I'm up to 75 subscribers on YouTube. Let's make it 100. That's only 25. Right? That's only 25. That's 5 more than you have fingers and toes. That's not a lot. All right? So, you've got to know, 5 or 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 people. Tell them. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're watching it later, thank you for watching the whole thing. Skip to the end. I don't know. I don't tell you any secrets at the end that you don't get to know at the front. So, anyway, all on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Anyway, thanks, Robert. Thanks, Clell. Anybody else out there in La La Land that I don't know about? Thank you. Let's see who the participants were. Just us. Woohoo! All right. Well, till next time. Let me do this. Let's go back. Hide that. I want to give y'all like a full-blown version of myself on the leaving. There we are. That's better. Look at that. Bye, everybody.